The only redeeming quality about my refrigerator is that it is a refrigerator. I'm Chloe, this is Mochi, we live in a school bus. If you're researching appliances for your tiny home, you're probably a little bit stressed, so come on in, make yourself comfortable, and we'll just have a little chat. I'm not just going to be roasting my refrigerator today, I'm also going to be talking about my air conditioner, my heater, my fan, and my toilet, which might not be considered an appliance. I kind of impulse bought the toilet because I was at a tiny house expo and I was offered the display model for a very discounted price. I had already done a little bit of research and was leaning towards the Nature's Head anyway, but thought that $1,000 was pretty extreme for a toilet, and I think $800+ for a toilet is still kind of extreme. This is a composting toilet. If you are unfamiliar, it separates your solids and your liquids so that you don't need to find a special black water disposal area in order to get rid of your waste. You can do it a lot more easily and sustainably by separating your solids and your liquids. It does mean you have to get a little bit more personal with those two things, so if that's not your thing, then this isn't for you. I did have to add additional mesh to the exterior pipe because I was getting some bugs inside. I've only had to contact Nature's Head for a couple of minor things. They fixed my problem really quick and painlessly. I don't have any other experience with any other toilets. If you do and you recommend one, I would love to hear about it. Otherwise, I love the Nature's Head. I just cleaned it today and it's been a dream. No complaints. The other appliance I have that I think is pretty ubiquitous is my knockoff diesel heater. I know very few people who have the actual Webasto brand heater in their builds. In my limited amount of research that I was able to do in the last 5 minutes, I found that Webasto heaters can go for $1,000 to $2,000 depending on your dealer. So I guess that depends on your location in the world. I purchased my knockoff heater for $200. And yes, I did have to buy another one. All of a sudden started making this really weird scraping sound that I could not identify. And I was really just worried that it was going to go kaput and stop working completely. It had started using like twice as much fuel as it ever had before. I think it's a mixed bag. You get a lot of success stories like, yeah, I've had it for years and it's never given me a problem, or right out of the box, it doesn't work. A good piece of advice that I heard is to check it before you install it. So make sure that it works before you put it in your bus, which is what I did with mine. It was super easy to service and do maintenance on. I wasn't able to fix the problem or find the problem, but I was able to take it out and take it all apart, put it all back together, put it back in by myself. I followed some YouTube videos. I'm sure Webasto has similar features. I truly have no idea. I think if I were to repurchase and like start over, I would probably go with the cheaper heater again. A, because I'm familiar and comfortable with them at this point, and B, I don't think you can beat that price. The other no-brainer was my exhaust fan. That is a Max Air fan. I feel like everyone knows what they are at this point, and everyone has them in their builds. If you're unfamiliar with the Max fan, its big perk is that it can be used in the rain. The cover allows it to keep your inside dry, and when you have it on high, it really cranks. When I have the fan on and a window open, it moves air through here like nobody's business. Mine is a manual, which was $180. You can get a remote controlled unit for $300. It's pretty darn easy to clean. I don't drive with it open. You can, but I have never needed to. But even with it closed and locked, I feel like it rattles sometimes. This bad boy has been on my shit list since the day I bought it. I researched the crap out of this thing and still somehow got duped. I should have known right when I bought it that something was off, because the name on the listing was Costway, Costway, and the name printed on the unit is Stay Cool, Stakcool. KOL. So that's weird. It was $800 and I purchased the Assurion protection, which was an extra $125. I am so happy that I bought that insurance because a couple of months ago they refunded me my entire $800 purchase. So everyone who talks smack about that insurance, I buy it for everything now. Everything. I have since been able to fix the unit, but it's definitely not reliable. The problem I was having with this unit is it kept throwing an error code that I could not find online or in the manual, and their customer service is non-existent. So it's possible that my unit is just a lemon, but for the pure fact that I could never get help from the manufacturer is reason enough not to purchase a product. Compare it to the Dometic CFX3 95D2, and that comes in at $1,550, and I dream of the day that I will put one in this build. The other thing, there's two parts. There's two sections. There's one section that's like this big, there's another section that's like this big, and you can set the temperature, but you can't set the smaller section to be colder than the larger section. So you either have an enormous freezer or no freezer at all, which is the method that I go for, which is a big bummer because I really bought this specifically because it had a freezer. Even though I have no personal experience with it, I would recommend splurging and perhaps getting a brand name like a Dometic. The other appliance I nearly pulled my hair out doing research on was my air conditioner. It is the Airxcel Mach 8 Plus Cub. The thing that I forgot to mention about the fan is the 8-inch clearance, which is the same as the air conditioner. It's pretty sweet. Very low profile. So, fun fact about my air conditioner, it came wired wrong from the factory. We had to take it to a specialist to find that out, and Airxcel covered that cost. As soon as we did get it working and figured out that weird little glitch, it has been cools down this little space like an oasis in the summertime. This unit was $900 and that came with 1 year of warranty. I believe an additional 3 years was like either $90 or $100. If there was a moral of this video, it would be to buy the warranty. It is pretty loud. It's kind of a bummer. Like right now I can hear birds, I can hear the wind and the trees. I really like that. It's a very pleasant experience, but when the air conditioner is on, my auditory experience is limited to just what's going on inside the bus. I'm gonna turn this on for a minute so you can get a little taste of what it sounds like. Yeah, it's noisy, but you can't really expect an air conditioning unit to be quiet. It doesn't affect my ability to hear when I'm in the bus. I can still watch TV, talk on the phone, and do whatever. It doesn't interrupt my daily activities. Airxcel troubleshooted with us for months while we tried to figure out what was wrong with our unit. They sent us parts, they talked us through everything over the phone, and they were almost always really friendly and very, very helpful. I will let you know, the guy who fixed my air conditioner said that he does a lot more work on units like mine than on older air conditioning units. Before you go out and buy this, because I said it works, maybe look into something that's been around a little bit longer, that has been tested and is tried and true. I sort of got lost in the top 10 best air conditioners of 2020 or whatever. Hopefully it will last me many, many years. And I have no reason to believe otherwise. So those are some of the big ticket items that I purchased for my build. I hope you feel a little bit more confident about any decisions you might have to make in that realm. If you want to know about some little ticket items that I have that help with my daily life, you can watch this video that I made about my tiny living hacks. Thank you for hanging out, and I will see you next week.